in the feed filter. Like it shouldn't be pulling up all those icons and stuff. Um, the comments sections on everything.
Yeah.
Maybe even a global admin comments thing at the bottom for us to always just like chit chat. The flow of creating a new thing with the modal, create an organization, save it, saves a draft, takes you to the organization. You're building it out, you're saving a draft, and then you're publishing it. Yeah, basically that flow into fully being able to create an event, give people roles, and then cash it crypto.
Okay.
Once those are all in flow, well, and the map and calendar. Once all those are in flow, then we're pretty much ready to launch.
Yeah.
So it's just like main functional features. Cash and crypto. And that icons thing was a fun tangent. Now we just need to add that to the thing creator.
Yeah, it's just a brain.
And get back on the tracks.
Yeah, it's a brain to apply to everything, but everything, the body still needs to work.
Yeah, totally. Oh.
Wildlife animals. Giraffe full body.
All right. I feel complete. Do you think I should write that down? It's basically still what's written up there.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel you. I mean, the flow of easily creating stuff.
Yeah.
Just need to use that a lot.
People taking it and their user profiles being like really clear when you go to your profile dash. And you're like, oh yeah, here's my tasks this week. Yeah, there's still a lot. To do.
I think the comments are fixed.
Oh, sweet.
It was just trying to switch everything to a parent IDs array versus just a parent ID. Yeah, kind of just both.
He was like great. There's a generation of dudes who I'm much older than them, but they're the guys who really get memes and really get like Harambe and fucking Jeffrey Epstein. Like that generation of dudes where that's their joke, right? And Andrew's that generation, Shane's that generation. Like, and they're the same generation, but like he was the one with the guy who was running through it. Oh, dude. He said it the entire time. Automatic. Oh, yeah. Automatic. Yeah. It was like some guy they said break that girl. You know, John something, John Ferry or something. What's his name? Rick Allen. We watched it the whole tour. Yeah, they said it the entire time. Automatic. It is so good. That's where Andrew's skill set laid in, like, bringing that to you or telling you, like, you're really good at, like, jokes and, like, what was off and what was maybe not so politically correct anymore. Like, I never go says that word for, like, 20 years. Production. And he was great at, like, movie night. Like, he'd go, who wants to watch Apocalypto? And everyone's like, fuck, you know, production. Dude, he's good at that. That's an important person.
It's not even working right now. What if the Roadrunner API again or something?
Yeah.
Like we can see our IPs. I don't know.
And fucking bottle service, it's fucking expensive. The bill comes back. I don't even know. It's like $7,000. And my director, Peter Attentio, was going to pay the bills. I'd already taken the crew out to eat. I've had a lot of big things. And Andrew just steps up and is like, I got the bill. And we're like, fucking big dog. And he goes, give it to me. Fucking signs it. $2,000 tip. Donzos. Next morning he goes, I was a fun fucking night. I said, you know what? He goes, I appreciate you picking that up. I said, you picked it up. I got it for you. Like, Andrew, you don't get to fucking be the guy that writes the thing. And then I thought you paid for it. He goes, for fucking $7,000 to spend on beers. And the fucking legendary, someone else might have paid for it. Yeah, Andrew works for Portnoy. Andrew would be so great Marshall guy, but he does this sort of thing. He likes his own. When we were watching those movies, just Dave. Oh, yeah. It was so fucking funny. What was it? Manzi. Dave came on the show. Watched the rest of the show. We watched the show. And then we were like, oh, I can't wait. And then after the show, like, nice. We watched the second half of this movie. Three of us. It was nice. And then, yeah, Dave and Manzi got on the bus and they fucked that movie up. Shut up. Fucking once. Dave said, at the very end of Apocalypto, you know, the ships from the fucking Spanish are arriving, and Dave just goes, pirates. Fully serious, dude. Full serious. We start the movie, and Manzi, and the subtitles are off. Manzi goes, turn off the subtitles. And we're like, why? He goes, turn off the subtitles. It's not, we're not supposed to read it. This is an art piece. Oh, and then Shane goes, man, are you fluent in ancient Aztec? We're not supposed to read it. And then we get to the part where he goes, my name is Black Paul. I have hunted these forests for years. My father hunted this forest. My father's father's hunted this forest. This is my forest. And I go, Manzi, were we supposed to just guess? That's basically what I said. Yeah, those bus hangs are great.
You do describe the bus as we had a Barcelona bus, but you didn't have the bus. You just drove around a pickup truck, right?
Yeah. The Black Toys had a pickup truck, but then we ended up getting really bother us.
Yeah.
But like, it's like fucking.
Yeah, it was like, hey, we destroyed our RV though. Like, we're just a bunch of animals and treated like trash. So then being on the bus smelled bad. It didn't have, this, it didn't have that. I remember bringing tank, but it was emptying out the shit. Puking on the ground, emptying out the raw sewage.
On that bus, we were in Tallahassee one time. We parked outside Potbelly's. Some kid had definitely done a bunch of coke. He had not done it on the bus, but he was just he started having a heart attack. And Arsenal was such a young company where I was I think I was the senior person on staff. I was like, get him off the bus. And you got him on the sidewalk. Drop him off and fucking drop him off. We kept going on.
Potbelly's the first place I did stand up.
Really?
That's the first place I ever did stand up.
Out of Potbelly's?
Yeah, at Potbelly's. It's not like the rest of them.
Oh, okay.
Wait a second. What? That's the next album.
Yeah, Potbelly's.
That's not bad.
The Blackout tour would have been. Bro would have loved the Blackout tour. Did you know about that? Where you were
No.
Blackout tour was just when EDM and techno was the scene. We jumped on that early. Our first ever Blackout tour was featuring Avicii. He was doing it for free. He was just yeah, we're doing it. And now, and then as it grew bigger.
Did you take a pill to show me a pill?
The Black Templars.
It was like.
Yeah, I just saw that.
Every frat we went to, and then it graduated to I guess theaters, right?
Yeah, because you put everything in the same row, so toggle expanded.
Oh.
These guys were all between 20 and 25, traveling from state to state, frat to frat, bar to
I
bar,
mean,
playing techno music. There wasn't crazy drugs. I think
so it should be if it's expanded.
kids showing up.
So here's the row, and then show this below it.
We say a prayer before every show. We say a prayer that someone died in the crowd that night.
There was one kid getting blasted with the film machine that one time. One guy got hit in the
You see
eye.
that?
He had those giant bottles of champagne.
So now if it's expanded, grid segment. Oh, so we need row. We just need another row. If is expanded, row.
It is fucking.
They all dressed up in
I mean, we can mess with this, but the point is there's two different rows.
Dressed up in a giant frog. There's a compilation of dude, it's my favorite thing ever.
I would gas and Paul, sales guys here on we call them sales guys at the time. And he would encourage me to the video. He'd get me hyped up, get a couple drinks, and he'd
Put the comment thing on Oracle has,
stage time.
but input doesn't.
Probably 6'1", 220, and everyone in the front row was
Where'd you put it?
17-year-old.
On Arts.
I would take it out like a fucking plane crashing the floor.
Oh,
I jumped every fucking night. I think I got caught 3 times. The comedy show.
The smoke machines go like that, and he jumps and the smoke hits, and then as it disappears, it's just like. But yeah, I was like, damn, I wish by that point, I was a little bit older. I was almost engaged.
right.
I don't know how to do that was the thing. I remember everyone was like, that must be awesome. They were like, get me the fuck out of this.
The weirdest thing too is we brought all our equipment. So we're doing mostly
Block dynamic comments, icon chat, do block template.
mostly bars. We bring all our equipment, our own fucking trestle, glass legs, all of it. We hang all shit up. So if you were lucky enough to convince a girl to fuck you, at the end of the night we had to break down. Can you just go sit in the corner for an hour and a half while the man you would have at the end would be fucking horrendous. And then the show you guys live fucked up. Everyone's fucked up. It was crazy at work. It was doing some
Children comment. Dot comments in that parent IDs comment.
Playing on Sunday, he's fucking it was great, man. But I think to bring it back here, we had a nice bus that we treated nice and all that shit. Because I'd imagine, you know, you got trash.
I'd comment docs insert parent IDs this ID.
What I have is I bought one. I'm building it out, and that one's gonna be. I think that's my grown-up bus. That's my grown-up bus.
She's grown up. What exactly does a grown-up bus mean?
What is
Drink
it?
wine?
No, it's gonna be less bunks. So right now, bunks are great. I know I love bunks.
Yeah, that doesn't make sense. Oh, right, because that changed. Okay.
Someone farts, someone goes, what did that supposed to say?
We had Joey Diaz, you, Big J. It was a great horse and farts, dude. Back to that bus. It was Auschwitz.
Yeah. There was a lucky bus and Joey ate mushrooms one night.
Oh, gosh.
That's always good stuff.
Was it?
Oh, yeah.
Stop eating it. Ron had to, he pulled up, he was like, dog, I can't do it. Fucking dying in here. And Ron had to drive him to a hotel and just got off the bus.
He was on Concourse.
He took fucking ounce of mushrooms.
Oh,
And he fucking 1,000 milligrams of marijuana and then got into a fucking time capsule of a bunk. And it was like, it was huge. It was like, with his sleep apnea mask, he was Chris Pratt from that fucking movie.
Yeah.
And he was like, and then he woke up in the middle of the night and was like, dog. Someone Manzi woke me up. He goes, hey, Joey's not feeling good. And I was like, wrong curtain. Someone else, I'm not dealing with Joey. Fuck that. Last thing I want to do is a fucking angry Joey Diaz at 3 in the morning.
So if we're passing in comments through the block template, which I think we should do because it's kind of standard, then everything will have, I think, a parent data to context. Because the comments template, then the block template, and then where you're applying it. Nope. Data blue shit.
His little Asian woman was walking in front of him, and she did like a look over her shoulder because John was just starting to run. And I saw her, she kind of did like a high step. She was
Comments,
like trying to get away from it. I just watched it.
because it needs to work on everything. And the block template allows it to load the subscription on load versus just automatically, which is good. What am I doing wrong?
Yeah, that was you're such a dick. He was like, I'm gonna put 1,000 on a rent. I was like, I'll do it with you. And I was just like, do it together. And he just didn't do it. And I
No. I put 500 on red and then 500 on 11. So I was like, okay, maybe one of them will hit. And it didn't hit. And then he walked out, and then I was like, all right, well, hold on. I don't want to walk out with money. I want to get rid of the money.
Okay, what if I do, maybe just, we should do data equals this. And then the block, no.
Gambling doesn't really mean anything anymore because I make money. So like I don't winning or losing $1,000 isn't gonna break me. So I don't feel the rush anymore. Right. And I looked at him and I was like, it's rolling. I go, I don't feel it. I don't feel it. I don't feel it. She goes red, and I went, I feel it. I was lying. I was lying. I feel it. And my wife, she doesn't know I'm here. It was okay. All right, bye. That was pretty nice.
Yeah. I'm sorry.
This would be great. This would be great if you could be drunk right now. Yeah. I don't know what you're sober, John.
In there.
Huh?
What are you sober for?
You're so
Actually, you know, I gotta pee behind him. How are you?
You know, I mean, I feel like everybody will come a little dragons
Oh, we're banged
No,
up.
not everyone.
Well,
First
yeah.
day,
I
this
got
guy.
after it. But I wake up. My penance or whatever, the thing that I pay is.
All right, now we're passing it in.
You don't know it 'cause I don't like showing it.
So Block Scuffy 198
I try and I just hide it. And I
is the correct one, and it's going to be this dot data.
go through it. But like,
That's the parent data. If we pass in, you
okay, that's just by myself. I just go, let's work out. Let's do
Honestly, it's kind of thoughtful. Like I mope like a fucking bitch all day.
I don't know. All right, you might have to pass in data equals this to the. That's annoying to do every block.
I feel like you always get bad hangover anxiety.
It's one way to do it, but it should work for now. So
It's a totally normal thing.
this data if equals this, we'll say parent equals that. So we'll say this parent ID, parent model, body comment.
Yeah, he has one. He's like,
Over and he's like, oh god,
this is it. My life's over.
shut up.
And then we'll go fuck out. Pretty fun.
I feel like the comedy world's in a good spot now. I feel like everybody's kind of like, nobody's really doing COVID jokes anymore. I think everyone's kind of settled in on like, well, oh, it's brutal, right? Yeah, definitely. You know, like you guys did the YouTube thing.
Created
Kind of
parent equals docs find one.
know how it
Parent.
works now. You know who's getting
Subscribe children.
specials, like,
comment.
all that shit where it's just like, I feel like everything's kind of set now. And now you can just do your thing and crush it.
Yeah, but you don't want to let your foot off the gas too much.
I'm trying to make it
It'll go away.
Yeah.
so we can put it anywhere, like even within cards, and you get like a quick comments thing.
Well,
If you start to build
Parent
your
aid.
social media, and then they just switch the algorithm or switch the
Yeah.
well, what the fuck? You know? So
yeah, YouTube got all queefy now. If you curse in the first 5 minutes, they dock you. Yeah.
shit.
why people are like bleeping out, saying
Like on our Barstool like main accounts, we bleep out the words and
Dot comment parent IDs in parent if router, then that's the parent.
It'll let you vote.
Yeah.
The best part about booze is it doesn't let you down. It's there for you when you want it again. You can turn your back on it all you want, and it just stays there. It goes, hey man, I'm here for you.
Yeah.
And you can see that.
You gotta find the parent ID data. Console parent ID data.
bro, if I catch a wind the wrong way, my nipples go, yeah, weird nipples. It's still soft. The wrong way.
I don't get hard very easily. I'm perfect nipples. I got love my nipples.
Let me see his nipples.
That's my thing.
199. Ugh. Oh. Data. That's silly.
They are the opposite of Glenny Bull's nipples. It's fucking wonky-eyed. Was that to you about that, Ashley? Yeah,
Privately, yeah.
Motherfucker shirtless every weekend.
I don't like sitting on Glenny Boss. I love that dude, but it's clear what side he sleeps on.
Right.
Yeah, and that happened to me. I started noticing that was happening to me. Is that my left side
Okay.
was getting fatter, and it like noticeably that my body was there was more fat on my left side. And I was like, is that even fucking possible? And then I realized my right shoulder, I can't sleep on my right shoulder, so I always sleep on my left side. And so my fat just fall that way. You're there for 8 hours. Yeah. So Taylor would say that to me. He goes, I saw you in that video. Your gut doesn't move around.
No check. It's hard.
Yeah.
That's the beer belly, right? Like,
I don't know what it is.
I'm kind of saying my gut is hard.
like if you're a fat
types of them.
There's blood in cirrhosis.
Yeah.
Do you want to know if you have cirrhosis? You just want to die. You can't think you're gonna die.
Well, it's pretty hard to not know. You fucking pretty young. You can go to the jaundice. Your eyes are jaundice. My cat got jaundice. Really?
Okay, good.
Chocolate chip cookie. Dan Cook.
I had a cat who died with jaundice.
Really?
The cat out. It went outside. It was out for like a month because the dog came into our house and it just. Well, that is not
All right. Well, comments work on org house. I guess I just gotta make sure they work everywhere.
How old is Dylan?
He's getting up there. He's probably like 8 or 9.
Oh, he was longer than that.
Yeah. Okay. They work below.
Well, I wasn't there, and I liked Deuce. And Deuce clearly got mauled to death by an animal. They didn't tell me that until like recently.
Yeah.
They said it came home like it was yellow because it was malnourished, but it was like crawling back to get to our house, like an eye hanging out. Yeah, they found it in the yard, like trying to get home. Oh, man. Yeah, my dad killed it.
Shovel?
So I'm pretty sure they could give it a bomb.
Ah,
Yeah, he just came out there and was like,
I love that last night.
how you describe me again?
Is there a family discipline dog to shuffle?
That's okay.
That's a good line.
That was the issue.
It's so incredibly descriptive. It's like, that's exactly what I'm talking about.
Thank you to Manscaped for sponsoring this episode. I know if you're anything like me, you've had the Manscaped, you use it for your pain area, and you know that once or twice a year you trim your beard, once or twice a month, however far into puberty you are, you gotta stare at that Manscaped. This is such a great trimmer, such a great trimmer. Should I use it on my face while cleaning it? Should I use it on my face while cleaning it? And you never really did. Let's be honest, you never really used it. But now Manscaped's gone from waist to face. You can get they did say like diet and drinking, so maybe they're also like higher stress and just like other shit like this.
Fun shit.
It's like not as cool and fun to be a guy anymore.
I'm trying to get on it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like there's some. I think you also can get cancer from there's some shit though.
No. What you do? The levels that like.
If you do too much tea or
No,
something.
yeah. If you're doing one straw and you're like
Yeah.
stacking them.
I've done that.
Really?
I got mail to this new postal office in Melbourne. I got mail there because I was scared that if like the police would look at my house. So I got a mail to work. So I could blame it on someone else.
What did you do?
It worked super good, bro. You have to try this film.
Dude, it is fucking crazy.
Superhuman?
Dude, I took it, and like, I can't believe I've had my body checked since, and I did not do any permanent damage or anything. I can't believe I didn't stop drinking or anything. Like, I was still going out, but like, taking fucking Russian wood stroll on the side. And, like, I suck at pull-ups. I've never done pull-ups. And, like, day 2 in the gym, I was just busting out like 14.
Wow.
It was crazy. I was like, I am made of stone. I can't recommend it.
I pulled the panel down and I sent it down to the company down in Austin that does all the. I've gotten what's the fucking stem cells. Yeah, I've done stem cells with them, and I said like your testosterone is super low. They put you on a cocktail not to like send it through the roof, but just get it to normal levels.
Right.
And secret time, my cardiologist suggested I get on testosterone because he said, it'll help repair any damage you've ever done to your liver.
Big.
I start drinking again.
What if I do too much? It damages it, but don't do too much. Check your liver. If you need to check your levels, problem. Like, I think, it'd be good for you.
Did you feel a difference? Like
I've done it, yeah. I've done it.
yeah, I feel like we should all be on HGH, testosterone, or
What about paying for features? Like if you want
just do a little HGH.
to, I had the thought of like you pay to use a feature because then each feature has an account, and then you could pay people to code on that feature. then it kind of seems,
Fifth grader.
I think it needs to be more accessible than that,
yeah,
especially when it's like not
Eighth grader. You get
perfectly
5 million
working.
players.
yeah.
Varsity
No one
players,
takes the heartfelt features right now.
D1 player, you get like 50. NBA player, you get like 500 million, and then a prime Kobe, you got $600 million. You just got to score a basket.
And so you can maybe pull up for a jumper.
That's what I was thinking. Is like you could just get lucky. Okay, check it up, throw a Hail Mary, maybe it goes in. But you could just
I can back
back down
down.
five. Yeah. Fifth grader, you're up to just
I could do it in eighth grade.
I think so too.
Yeah.
I think you could back down.
I can back down most high schools.
Like a varsity player, you probably.
That's
That's
great.
the thing. Like, what race? Where are they playing? Like, are they like a 170-pound junior who made varsity, or are they like, I'm going.
Yeah.
That's
That's about mafia.
that's the rub.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're going eighth grader?
Yeah.
For 4 or 5.
Yeah.
There you go.
Fifth grader. Yeah, I want to make sure I get my money.
Yeah, it's an no-brainer. It's like basketball, so it makes it easier. But
I did study basketball.
If I had money like you guys though, I'd be like, let's try fucking
Right, Elise, anything? No.
No.
Oh, all right.
Then let it rip, But
Yeah.
it's more the opportunity, like, oh man, I could have $1 million.
Right.
I put a lamp on this fucking 10-year-old.
I'm shooting a jumper, and I know for at a certain level in D1, they are going to D me up, and I'm gonna not get my jumper off.
Right.
And so I'm not. I don't really have a shot those guys.
They have a closeout. Did you like you can pick up a lot of sports? I don't think I've ever seen you play basketball.
Yeah, we played around with eighth grade with Steve.
Oh, right.
I was doing a thing called just fucking around. So I'm a comedian. What had happened, I don't want to get too into the weeds on this, but what had happened is I'd beaten Tom so handily in anything we'd ever done that this was the first time he was doing a good sell. And he wanted to really put. So we played
Because I
tennis.
won the dunk contest.
We played. Oh, did he? We played tennis, and I beat him so bad in front of his children.
I remember. I could hear him talking on the podcast about that. You could hear it in his voice that he was like, "Oh, like that killed him."
He started with I've been taking tennis lessons. I said, I'll destroy you.
Cool. It fixed that weird Zoom
And he goes, you don't know.
someone came online thing.
No, I know how good I am.
But that should also be if user online
So we get out, and
unless user
interview. You can see this little best part. He's doing an
is
interview.
media
In
user.
mind, I'm serving to his tennis coach, and I let him know. And his tennis coach comes up to him and he goes, "Your boy's got a D1 serve." I was like, "What?" And he goes, "We miscalculated this. It's gonna be rough." I aced him 27 times. I aced him so much that it was so demoralizing. And his children were there, his wife was there. They were cheering for him. Come on, Daddy.
No.
And he
That's
was
not what you gotta
he
go
was
home.
just-
Christina's gotta go get the kid. Let's go.
You ever see me and Matt versus Big J Lewis?
I've heard stories about this.
Classic.
It's the exact same thing.
Yeah.
You
When we started playing, we were just on the podcast talking shit, and they were showing their highlights because they played each other one-on-one.
Yeah.
They can't play basketball. They suck, but they literally can't play. Jay's not bad, but they can't play. And we were like, well, you guys can't play. They're like, we'll beat you. It's like, dude, well, what?
Yeah.
We'll kill you. You can't. And then we played and we beat them 12-0. It was crazy.
They were like arguing with each other.
All that built into Tom's brain. When we go to play basketball, he says, the first thing he says is, literally after you step on the court, he goes, you know, the average male over 40, if he plays basketball, blows out his knee. And I went, for real? And he goes, that's the number one way men always get hurt. And I heard that, and I went, and this is just we get so much television. I go, 50% looks like 75%, 75% looks like 100%. I'm just gonna fuck around out here. I'm not gonna risk myself.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna go up for anything. I'm not gonna fucking try to fucking do anything nice. But Tom was actually pretty good at basketball, and he goes up to do a dunk, and we both dunk. Then he goes to another dunk, we both dunk. Then he goes up to another dunk, and I can't get it, and he gets it, and that is the second that you hear Ving Rhames say, that sting you feel, that's your ego kicking your ass. Yeah. And Tom Bill, that thing, he's like, time to put a stir on. Next thing you know, I got a fucking weight belt around him, carrying him out of a fucking car into a fucking van. It was,
I can't watch that snap. It's so brutal.
noise. It was, dude, it was so fucking tough. The whole period was like, it was, man, God bless him. You know, obviously I'll show him Tom all day, but like, that was a moment in his life where he was like, I'm going to change my life. I will never let that happen again.
Yeah, he's fucking jacked now.
Yeah.
Oh, that's why he did it.
Yeah. Oh,
That's hilarious.
yeah. He was like, he was like, I'm done. It's gonna get jacked. Yeah.
Last one was if you had a terminal disease, how few years left would you need for it to affect your everyday life? Where you would wake up in the morning and think, I've only got blah 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 years or months or whatever left.
Just feel like building a small review thing.
Whatever. Interesting. Feel like
It's funny, I said one time,
Yeah.
to Leanne, if I got a terminal disease, I said to Dr. Drew, maybe I said, if I got a terminal disease, I'd probably want to have sex with like all the chicks that like a bunch of porn stars, all the chicks I never had sex with. And then Dr. Drew's like, yeah, but you will die. Why don't you just do that anyway? And I went,
Which one?
I told my wife, he goes, then the answer is,
Um,
your wife, don't
The
fuck
preview isn't working at all for me.
her. And I was like,
Shut up, Doctor.
Just reload. I think it's working now.
Leave me alone.
that's a great question. How many years before?
I don't know. Tomorrow you're just doing your regular life. Yeah, you see, I don't know about that. Really? You start teaching your family?
Yeah.
Just get a blank white screen.
If you told me I had 2 years left, I'd talk about it, but I wouldn't really tune.
Yeah.
I have 2 years left.
Oh, no such template. I large.
True.
I don't have enough money. I don't have enough money not to.
Yeah.
Like, maybe if I was in a different position, I would fucking
Oh, no,
quit
that's
my job.
I also feel like you do things differently for like a week and then it'd be like,
Yeah. Isn't that big? I think.
No, I created one called I Large, but then I tried to copy it, so it must have accidentally changed it.
I can't tell you.
If you were 5 years, I'm on tour horrible.
This guy would die.
When I was 22 years old,
You're emaciated.
take my shirt off and you're.
I must have accidentally deleted it.
Totally.
Cancer bird. Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
I appreciate
No, we got one. If you could punch one Instagram model in the stomach, like Shane and I did a podcast one time where we got so fucked up at the end. We're saying stuff. I was like, we gotta edit all this out.
like 3 hours. It's terrible. Release it, man. Release the lost tapes. All right, boys. Thanks. You're all on tour and everybody knows where your tickets. Yeah, everybody knows where you get tickets. So, thanks, guys.
Love you guys.
Broadcast Radio on YouTube to get all the video content. Subscribe, comment, like, and make sure you turn on the bell notifications so you know whenever new video content drops.
I want to do the video.
All the people at home are wondering one thing right now.
Yeah.
Do you know about the head? Today we are joined by an absolute legend, a woman whose resilience makes David Goggins look weaker than the Liver King sperm count. She's the ultimate survivor, a New York Times best-selling author, and she's taken out more rats than the Colombo crime family. She's got the only North Korean nukes to touch American soil. Right now, give her a warm, flagrant welcome, the unstoppable Yeonmi Park, everybody. Okay, now, before we begin, because obviously we want to talk about your life and everything that's going on, your books, but before we begin, all the people at home are wondering one thing right now.
Yep.
Do you know about the head?
I can assume, but what So like he's looking you in the eyes so hard right now. He's like, laser focus. Okay, so basically what happened is just here. I love. Okay, so basically I called you and I was like, hey, I just want you to know, are you familiar with like the comments on Instagram sometimes saying the heavies or people lifting the weights? And you said to me, you were like, I thought people were saying I was getting fat. Which made me feel good. Oh my God. Yeah, I mean, it's like, look, you know, so I felt horrible that, you know, you came from this place, you're coming from North Korea, where you don't have food easily accessible to you, and then you get to America where you can eat whatever you want, and you're immediately body shamed into not eating. So I feel bad about that part. Only that part. But I'm glad that you know, you're in on the joke now.
Perfect.
Yes. Okay. Good.
What is exactly weightlifting?
Oh boy. So, you want to demonstrate that? No. You know what? Okay.
I get the word, but like, what the lifting part is? I don't lift. That's why.
Well, the weights. Okay. So. Hold on. So basically, our word for how do you say boobs in Korean?
Bad or good one? Like the more polite one?
Yes.
Oh, 가슴?
Awesome. How do you say the less polite one?
No, thank you.
Okay. So the most polite way to say it in English is obviously the heads, right?
That's a polite way to say
Yes.
it.
Yeah. That's his way of saying it. Because you're not saying it, you're just saying it's the heads, like the soup head. So, and then when we said the heavies, people put the weights because weights are heavy.
Okay, that's
It's intricate. Yeah. But now you know everything.
Yeah. Now I get it.
Yeah. Okay, good. So, do you still want to be here?
Actually, this is my story. This is the first time people made fun of me in person.
Welcome to America, baby! She said I love freedom. Now, I would like to kind of go over some of your life story for the people that aren't familiar with you. Is that cool? Okay, so you grew up in Calabasas, right?
No comment.
Yeah, that's so yeah. No. So you're born in North Korea.
Yeah.
Okay. That's kind of wild. What was the city that you were born in? Haesan.
It's a northern part of North
North Korea. Are you going there on the next tour? No, I don't think that we don't do comedy shows there, do you?
So I think that's the thing, like in North Korea,
UI form, range edit, UI input.
They have to glorify the dictators, like the leaders in their country.
You can do that. Yeah.
So I was like so shocked in America people can make
Input
fun of
type
everything.
text placeholder.
Yeah.
So
Some
I
people's entire act.
Input type text and placeholder.
There's a dinner that they have every year where you make fun of the president. And the president's name, and the president has to be there, and then get made fun of in front of everybody.
didn't get access.
You know,
What else were you working on? That
I'm just kind of working on that model selector drop down on the main page.
Before he was president, and everybody was laughing at him, and he just said, "All right, fuck it. I'm gonna show you how easy this is."
So is this a conspiracy theory or real?
I keep getting this kind of like pixelated effect that I'm trying to fix
Okay, so you grow up there. Okay.
with all the icons, all the small icons.
I mean, even accessing food is incredibly hard, right? You have to eat
Grasshoppers,
grasshoppers,
butterflies,
butterflies,
dragonflies.
dragonflies.
It sounds beautiful when you say it like that.
What's your favorite insect? Like if you had to rank them.
Grasshoppers.
Grasshoppers,
They're very chunky meat. And
Yes.
dragonflies, not much to eat.
Not much there, right? Harder to catch too.
You know, we use a spider web. So we make a little round of wire and we go through a lot of spider webs. So we mix a lot of nets and then we catch them. Like this is,
With spiderweb?
yeah.
Wow.
So this is a dragonfly season, so we catch
Everybody's
everything.
eating good in August.
So you're like bears, you eat in August and then you just starve for the next
So what other input were you?
It's funny enough that
I don't think it fucked with fields, Jade, or at least not that part of it.
Spring, a lot of plants don't grow. It's not quite the time, you know.
Just the
it's
main-
February, March is the hardest.
Yes.
From April is there's
Yeah, this is a
you
tough
can
part.
find some like food to find.
Oh, image is self-closing. It should not have content.
Rogan about eating the rats.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So somewhere there's an image with something underneath it.
And then the rats eating the kids. Also, yeah. I mean, unbelievable.
Oh, yeah.
This is a common occurrence to eat the rats, or this is like, is there a month?
What's unbelievable is like this to me right now.
This is unbelievable.
Yeah, it's like in North Korea, like it was I couldn't fathom how can you not worry about finding food.
Yeah.
And that was his daily life for us.
Yeah.
And like I had no clue what
There's something underneath it.
Yes.
And therefore
Yeah.
I was having too much food.
Yes. That is the
Oh, I small.
So, yeah, I have certain things I just don't want to eat because I don't want to get so fat.
That's what Americans were teaching me when I came to America. They said you need to watch out the food label and don't eat rice. Like
Is it
That's
better
what-
like right away? Because right away you probably needed the food there. It's
In
kind of
South
the best
Korea.
thing to do. You've been starving your whole life, and they're like, well, don't eat too much.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah,
in South Korea, they did feed us. So we had a nutritionist
Yeah.
within government, so they would like feed us.
Yeah.
Initially, we cannot digest normal food like normal people.
Wow.
I mean, like the Holocaust survivors, you cannot give them steak.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Their stomach is not cannot process all that fat
Right.
and salt like that. So you need to
This is the weakness of this.
Like water and
Probably doesn't tell you where it is.
and then
um,
use the, you know.
I fixed it.
Yeah.
When I changed I small, I tried to make it match I large, but I must have put something else. I just
Yeah,
undid it.
water bags.
Yeah, but I do need to know because I grew up in.
I only changed it because I thought I could try to get it to be less pixelated, but it didn't really work. So
School here.
Yeah.
Were there ever times where you saw rats and you were like,
Oh, well, this needs to be image for sure. That's our own thing.
it's like, yeah.
So I got intimidated by American rats because they were so much bigger than North Korean rats.
Because they get more food. Even the rats are fat here. Even the rats are obese.
Yeah, like size of like rabbits.
Yeah.
My mom and
You
I
feed a
was
family.
yeah, but like my mom and I was like in the subway, we're like, is that a rat? It's like it's a bunny almost.
I feel like that drop down looks really good.
The different size of rats. North
But
Korean
they're a
rats
little-
are maximum
they're not
like this
crisp.
big.
Oh, wow.
They're like
Very small.
they cannot grow because we catch
Just the model selector drop down.
Yeah. Is there a way to prepare it? Like, is there like
Oh,
a-
yeah,
I
gotcha.
mean, honestly, like, is there
Well,
tablet?
so you're doing I small,
Yeah.
and that's in the filter model, and then you're referring to that in the filter model.
Yeah.
Filter model, I small, icon, CL, UI, online image. Maybe if we get rid of that,
I'm just imagining cooking those rats.
because it's an inline image by default.
Are there anything you missed? Like you missed the grasshoppers or
Convex circular secondary basic invert button. Well, we don't really need an invert a button if it's in a menu. Well, yeah, we could just do this. Something like we put it in a menu. I small name, I color model. Fields, I small UI inline image. I forget what G image is. I think that's just for invert.
and so it's rice with Hanson.
Well, there's a lot of places in the world that will eat like grasshoppers or chocolate covered crickets or something like that. Yeah, yeah. That's what that's neat. Yeah, you're right. Chocolate's doing the heavy lifting. Why do you guys do chocolate? You should just have some chocolate.
Yeah, it's still pixelated, huh?
That was pretty much
Well-
sometimes you do it. You said sometimes you do it boiled snakes, but snakes is common. And
Then I tried to use other
It's just the most wild
things. Like,
Yeah, I think to us, because we're so used to like trying to get rid of them. You know, also like Western
Yeah.
people have this huge fear of rats because it killed like a third of the human population. Have you heard of like the Black Plague or the bubonic plague? Yeah. So it's probably like
that fixed it.
a little concern.
Cool. Yeah. just higher res.
To this day, that shocks me is like what I remember eating cockroach.
Yes.
I think that I'm sure like nobody was like dating me right now.
You're engaged, though. You already.
But cockroach we eat as a snack. And if you, it's like if you do my friends, like they're boys, they're faster. Cockroaches are faster, so they catch it.
Yeah.
And then they show me how to eat it. If you flip their tummy, there's inside like it looks like a little grain in it. Looks like a brown rice grain. So that's the most like delicious part in cockroach.
Oh, really?
He's in a cooking show. This would be a lot. This would be cool.
That I'm not proud of.
Because this guy, he one time we were eating and there was a fly in the soup, like one small little mosquito, and he wanted the whole meal to be free.
That's not true.
Like he wanted the whole
That's
thing
not
to be
true.
free. 'Cause he
I
said,
eat it. I eat
you
it.
don't eat it. You don't eat it.
I don't care.
If you found one little fly in your food, would you be like, oh, that's gross and throw it away?
Leave it in.
Let me scoop where it needs to be. I survived like
You would just,
I have zero allergy.
you would just keep
The
going.
thing was, if you have allergy, no.
What's it called?
That's cool.
Just eat everything.
Oh, nice.
Okay, you never complain when you go to restaurants. No.
That's a little pixelated. So then I would go I big for that, or large, whatever you're doing.
Yeah. If it's $80 for a dish, you don't want one little bite, you know? That's a North Korean restaurant, but they just give you one little bite of something. I don't want
We
that.
don't have restaurant.
Oh.
We don't have free market.
But if you open one here, though, it could be good.
Yeah.
Yikes.
Let's say when like, okay, let's continue on your story.
Right.
So 13 years old,
Woo!
you find a way to
Whoa!
escape to China.
Oh, you switched the icon set.
You and your mother go.
No, it's just inverted on the I big. I big's kind of messed up.
Crossing a frozen river, and what, it was so cold that the guards are down.
Still trying to make these smaller. I don't understand how I small is different from I. Like,
It's the size. So these are
well,
48.
yeah, but
This is 24.
oh, the code within it is different. And this is what happened. I tried to replace it so it would be the same to try and make it show up.
You were before this, right?
Oh,
I was right before that. It was still the like the machine guns and guards. and
clear but smaller.
And they just didn't see you because it was dark.
So I did that.
The lady was happy.
And that's just like I. And then I did this.
She bribed the guards. That's why I didn't get shot.
Okay, so she bribes the guards, and then you and your mother get across, and then immediately after getting across, your mother is sold. You told this story on Rogan.
Yeah. So yeah.
Now, this is,
This is
I
what
need to ask
broke it
something. You were
before.
telling the story, and you said in the story, I need to know if you were just using like vernacular, like we use it, or is it true? You said that your mother was sold to mentally retarded farmers as a sex slave. No,
Yeah.
okay. Your mother was sold to mentally retarded farmers, right? Now, were you saying that in terms of?
Yeah, that's basically. That's so
saying,
weird.
well, they're mentally retarded, like
I
people
don't
who are
understand how I is different from I small. Now that I changed it,
mentally ill people,
they
right?
should match.
Actually can't
But
function.
it's,
What has a smaller, like the 24 versus 48?
yeah.
So it doesn't matter what class you show it. Like if you say tiny image, it'll show it at like 100 pixels or something. But if you're using the iSmall template, you're only downloading a 24 pixel image. So then you're saying display it bigger.
So I could say I small and then tell it to be. I could say I and then tell it to be small.
You can do a class, yeah.
Class equals UI small image.
Well, that would be like
So she's immediately sold that.
200 pixels.
You also sold.
So immediately she was raped.
Oh,
And then they brought us together and then negotiating on price. And then they realized my mom was older, so they sold for like $65 for her. And then I was a child virgin. I was 13 and virgin. So they decided to sell me over $20.
oh,
So they sold me separately to a different broker.
oh my god! And this is all part of the person that was transporting you. She knew when she was transporting you that this would immediately happen
Yeah.
on the other side.
Yeah.
So this is the cost of getting out.
But the craziest thing is that I'm not hating her is because she sold her children the same way.
Oh my!
If I was not get sold into I've been dead
100%.
2007. Yeah.
Wow.
That's it.
So the only way you could survive is being sold as a sex slave.
Yeah.
Wow.
She got executed for that a few years later.
Somebody told her, or
The authority caught her, and then they executed.
when they execute her, they also arrest 8 generations of her family
3 generations to 8 generations.
between 3 and 8.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Now I know that your father was arrested earlier, and when he was arrested, did other people also get arrested with him?
So there is a 2 types of crime.
Yeah, so like mini is the only one that would work, but you have to use the eye template because that has a 48 pixel base.
Right.
And then tiny would work if you use the eye big template because that has a 96 pixel base. And those are like the sizes that Icons 8 uses.
So if I use large with tiny.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Well, what is large?
96.
Yeah.
And then
Oh, and I tiny shouldn't work because you're doing 12.
right.
So this should just be 48.
But for the class I can say UI tiny image.
Right.
CL equals UI space tiny space image.
Yeah.
But when you go to political prison camp, you don't last more than 3 months. It's like,
Well,
That broke it.
For the tiny template,
Wait, what are you saying I need to do? Exactly. I thought you said I needed to use the I large and then define it as tiny or something. That's what I thought I heard.
yeah. Because what size do you want to show it as? Like the little.
I want to show it small
Okay.
but clear.
Right. Then I would do mini. So you could just use the eye template with the UI mini inline image thing.
Right.
So that would be. Right. Eye icon. So it's a 48 pixel base. Downsize to 35.
So about that CLUI mini inline image broke it. Did I write it
Yeah.
wrong?
Because you're passing in a string. Or you should pass in a string.
If you breathe, it becomes like
Those
orange ice.
quotes.
So,
Okay.
that's the thing. I was rescued by missionaries,
Yes.
and they said you have
Right.
to believe in miracles, otherwise you're not going to make this journey. The chance of surviving is 1%. So, but we don't have like gloves or gears or like paddings, some like thick jackets, and then no gloves, no scarves, no hat, and so afterwards we got everything frozen or our face wire for us to shear our skin. Yeah.
Cool. That'll work.
And you could also just define your own class if, like, the tiny is a 35 pixel one.
Mhm.
So we could say,
Well, I made it 12, but I should have just made it. Well, small. Huh.
UI mini image width height auto. So you could say, you just do a style to say, like model item icon. I would say width 24 pixels. Height auto. And then instead of UI mini image,
I became one after my son. I was an atheist for a long time.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Then having my son like born, this is a
why
miracle.
the fuck can my computer not
It's- I
operate?
had to become, one.
Is it slow for you?
And then you eventually get to separate from
I don't know. Whatever. Get rid of that. Get rid of that.
Yeah, it's a little stuff. I think the drop down looks good now. That's perfect. It's perfect.
That I want to ask you about.
Yeah.
I never write down like notes. These are the notes that I have. I need to know. Okay.
The other thing now is that I guess when we add these selections, we should add like tags within this input box. So you add a selection, you're adding those like
Mhm.
tag for your toggling.
Pleasure squad.
And then it could also be inline because the size.
It's also not unselecting the ones I select. Oh no, it is. Never mind. That's good.
And the other group is happiness group, is where you learn how to massage the dictator or like giving the acupuncture like that. And the last group is the dancer, the musicians. Music, yeah.
Oh, I thought you liked magic.
He doesn't like magic, but like he likes the girls like naked and dancing more than that.
Yeah, most guys like the naked girls.
I really prefer David Blaine.
Yeah, you like magic there. Okay. Okay, so the videos, sometimes there are these videos you see coming out of North Korea. And they make North Korea look quite normal. It doesn't look rich.
Yeah.
But it doesn't look as poverty stricken as people like you and others who have gone to actually lived in North Korea say. What do you say about these videos? Are they all like he'll bring up is it all faked? Is it all orchestrated to like trick the West? Like do you even recognize this place?
It's Pyongyang. It's the capital of North Korea. Yeah, do you see that everything is a propaganda banner? There's no ads.
All of these, there's no advertisement.
No, nobody can like get a glory other than it.
What does that say again for a second?
It's like let's follow the party's order with everything that we have.
So are these places like propped up by the regime to look nice, or are there some parts that are nicer and some parts that are more impoverished?
So Pyongyang is like have you guys watched the Hunger Games?
Yeah.
So it's like North Korea, like that. There's a capital and there's other districts.
So the capital looks nice.
Yeah, because that's called the heart of North Korea. Heart of the regime is Pyongyang. So that's why regime says until we keep, as long as we can keep 10% alive, which is in Pyongyang, we are not going to do anything until other people die off from this starvation, because it's easy to do socialism and you have less people. That's why they're starting us on purpose to let us die.
Because it's less people to take care of.
Not taking it is control. They don't take care of us. Is it easy to control less population, right? And also if you're starving, you have no energy to fight back.
Right, and they would be worried about these other places coming, obviously trying to create some sort of revolution.
Yeah, so within North Korea, we have no freedom to travel to Pyongyang.
I was going to ask you, have you ever been to
I've
Pyongyang?
been before my father arrested. I've been once.
Because before your father's arrested, life was nice.
He was a party member. Yeah, I had a relatively fine life for North Korean standards.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Which means I had like food 3 times a day. Still no electricity, no cars, no toys. I still like 2 pair of clothes. No shower, no sewage, no bathroom. I mean,
Oh, and that was good for.
no refrigerator, no washer. That was a good North Korean lifestyle. I was not dying from starvation.
Yeah, because he was a party member.
It was 6 million of men are party members, so it's not that significant. It was a party member, but still, yeah, better than most of, I guess, middle class people.
Wow. Okay, so that's why they'll let foreigners go to Pyongyang, because it gives the perception
Yeah,
like, oh, it's not as bad as people say.
it's a Disney World, right? But the thing is, even within Pyongyang, remember that Otto Warmbier from Berlin Tech, the young man who got killed by the
Yes,
regime.
yes.
Even as a tourist, when you go to North, you cannot walk around freely.
You're always accompanied.
Absolutely, even in your hotel, you cannot. His crime was going to run through in his hotel. I'm sorry, I'm the guard.
I'm not even pushing the floor. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm saying you push the floor.
Yeah.
I'm not even, was there an elevator? Yeah.
Yeah, it was in the hotel.
Yeah.
Then
Now, where is the money coming into North Korea in order to prop up a city like that?
so first source is coming from selling weapons. They sell the nuclear smash to Pakistan, Syria, those countries.
How did North Korea get a nuke?
They got the technology from Soviet Union in the 60s, 70s. So they have North Korea. Yeah. They
And
have,
the Soviets were propping them up before China.
yeah. During the China, they were like using North Korea as a buffer zone from South Korea, Japan, and America.
Right, right.
During the Cold War, they kept North Korea to build the nukes.
Okay, so they built the nukes, they have the nukes, and that's their one, what we call like a trump card.
Yeah.
Not actual Trump, but it's a trump, right? A trump card where it's just like, if they didn't have the nuke, most people would probably just go in there and, do regime change or something like that. But the fact that they have the nuke, it's a very dangerous proposition,
Right.
right?
But even before the nukes, they would not go do anything there. So I don't think the people interested in North Korea.
Remember when you got this to like do a little like white outline around that when it was selected?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm talking about?
Mm-hmm.
That was really awesome, and it would be cool if these also did that.
Do I really want someone who I don't trust?
Yeah, it used to.
Weapons leading a country, or do I want
Oh, China is so great.
I was trying to figure it out. EFT filter toggle item.
It's like when a pretty girl has an ugly friend. Right? So you have to walk around with the ugly friend so people go, oh my god, she's ugly. You wanted to know this. Exactly. Yeah, imagine a pretty girl.
Toggle item,
an ugly friend.
CSS thing that has.
North Korea, we're not talking
The side item class would be the
Oh, wow.
inverted active. Yeah, I don't know.
So that's the other thing I heard you say. So
It's something like that. We should just create another class, like active side item class, and just
Yeah.
say border white. Because messing with semantic at this point is just longer than creating our own.
Right.
I mean, even like they test news without the China got that line for them. 'Cause nobody-
So we'll say instead of active, will be like G active, and then
Yeah, they don't let them
throw in a CSS thing called G active, and maybe something like border. Yeah, I always forget this. Border is 1 pixel. CSS border.
It's similar to what's happening right now with like Russia and like Ukraine.
Yeah.
It's like, Ukraine didn't join up with, what is it called again? NATO. They didn't join up with NATO, and then Russia was like, okay, there's a buffer right here. We don't have NATO on the doorstep. We got something. It might be like neutral. We don't know. The second they talk about maybe joining up with NATO, it's like, no, we're in there. We can't do it. But what you're saying is interesting. It's a publicity stunt almost. They're keeping this country impoverished.
We might want to define it as black so it
People
inverts.
talk about the atrocities going on there instead of the atrocities going on in their country. Now,
Correct.
my question is, would the world care? It seems like we don't care what China does to their people, the same way we don't care what Saudi Arabia does to Yemen. Like, it seems like as long as we're getting something from them or we need something from them, then we just kind of look the other way.
Fine, I'll just do this.
Civil rights situation.
That's what I try to change, right?
Yeah.
To make people
Wait,
care.
where'd that go?
Yeah.
Because I think
Model item icon?
realize how
Okay.
dangerous the
Is that what you're talking
We're also just doing the style for the when it's active.
Right, right.
So that would be something like that. It's either that or the other.
That's the whole- Why do they hate us so much?
Because this country stands up for freedom and human rights, individual liberty, and all the things that North Koreans cannot have.
Our culture is very seductive.
It doesn't need to expand like that, though.
Of these totalitarian states.
Yeah.
So as long as there's a free
Yeah,
society,
so
I mean,
that-
it's only showing the border when I'm hovering over it.
Yeah.
Escape to America, don't escape to North Korea.
Yeah.
That's when North Korean regime and Chinese regime understand that if they want to make this a norm, the dictatorships as a norm in the for democracy.
Yes, but even China has, I think, relaxed their policy on capitalism for sure, right?
Now when it comes to control of the people, it got
Okay.
so bad.
But even recently, the people protested the COVID regulations, and then the government acquiesced. The government said, "Okay, fine. You guys want to go out there and get COVID? Go get some COVID." It's like the first time in like 100 years.
Yeah.
That this has happened, where the government basically relented.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right. I think that was new about COVID. Like that people really fed up in China.
Yes.
Even here this
Fuck
day,
yes.
we have people trying to rescue North Koreans from China.
Yeah.
Perfect.
You cannot get on
Then
the
you can
bus
select
without
multiple.
ID and government
Now let's
authority.
apply that to the
You cannot go to
drop-down
Mexico without
selector.
going through checkpoints. And it became everything is isolated prison within China, like North Korea.
I also think that, and this speaks to the North Korea, why so much more people to do in North Korea. I think that like China has a much bigger middle class, and I think when you have a much bigger middle class, they have more power in a revolution. And North Korea.
I'm going to bring this over. This is an old pulse animation.
Cool, yeah. Nice.
Did COVID go through North Korea?
CSS, drop that in.
Or not.
And how did it transmit into countries, you know?
That's with China, but they're the only trading partner. I
So
don't
you
know.
define,
But it was through trading that people actually.
and then there's the pulse.
But North Korea didn't have COVID.
Oh, interesting.
No, whatever, it's just animation.
So that's a big
Fade
operation, like
and
literally
animation.
almost brokers, we have to talk about sugar and candy.
G
So,
active.
how we were trying to rescue some people. So North Korea has no internet. They don't have international service. So we need to smuggle a Chinese phone through the border to North Korean border. Then close region so could have a Chinese reception. So from America we call Chinese number. But the border
Shadow
North Korean
pulse?
agent they can accept the call. And sometimes the FaceTiming. But the government, North Korean government, do gems and watches and
Oh, needs to loop. Alright, whatever, I don't know enough about this.
Mountain
Something
in a
like that.
bike to the
Transform
desert.
scale,
So we
transform.
walk in the buoy and they talk for 30 seconds. And then about what we want to know, like how things are going.
This is
and, you know,
loop
what we want
animation.
to get out of North Korea. Then they need to go several miles and go on the core. It takes a interesting mission at the Congress to make a one phone call to North Korea.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
I'm not familiar with the geography that much, but are there places where they can access water and then like take the ocean?
Some people do. They
Like in
use-
Cuba, for example, that's how.
So I can just add G active to
You cannot do that in North Korea.
filter
There's
model.
even the ocean is there by the cars.
Yeah.
Whole
Yeah.
country is a prison camp. Entire country is served by the regime. It's a prison camp. Entire thing is. So some people swim for 15 days
That
to
doesn't do what I
Japan.
wanted.
What?
Literally swim. A son and father miracle, so they swam in the season winter enough, like end of October, that's North Korea winter. They somehow survived. Escaped to Japan and South Korea, yeah.
All right, guys, we're gonna take a break for a second because today's episode is.
The FT
brought to you
pickers
by Honey, the
like
easy way
acting
to save
exactly
money
like I
on
want.
your iPhone or
Okay.
computer. Don't you want to save money
The
for free?
drop down model picker
This is an
needs to be
absolute no-brainer.
identical.
All you get to do right here is save money for free. Okay, I'm gonna tell you exactly how it works. Have you ever tried to pay for something online and there's always that little box that says, "Oh, do you have a coupon code?"
Model
And you never
G
have a
active.
coupon code.
Model.
But those coupon codes exist. That's why Fox is available on the website. Well, what Honey's
The
gonna do
table
is
is
it's gonna search
circular.
the entire internet, scour the internet for your coupon code. How nice is that? Then you get your items at a discount. Simple solution to the problem. Okay, I've used it to buy sneakers. They're coming at a discounted price just because Honey is a browser extension that you can use. It's very simple for you to get it. So whatever you want to buy some headphones, whatever you want to buy, you can buy it using Honey. And if there's a discount code out there, it's going to be applied to you. Okay? Honey doesn't just work on desktops, by the way. It works on your iPhone as well. we, geology came through
Hmm.
in a clutch. You didn't know what to do. Okay, it finally simplified the skincare routine. Well, now they're going to do it for shampoo as well. Simple as that. Okay, they've launched a slew of hair and body products and brand new custom control hair systems. Okay, just like the skincare quiz, you take that
Shut the
quiz.
Joe Rogan.
Ooh, ah. I feel like walking down in a few.
Said what?
I feel like walking down in a few.
Okay.
Get some sun. All right. Yeah, I was hoping to do a pulse or something. Oh, I know what I can do. I'll just do that. E-T. Target. Closest. Item. Transition. Pulse. 700. I think that'll work. No, not 3. E. That's cool. It does a ripple effect when you click on it, I guess. Yeah, it looks great. Completely takes it out. Okay. I don't know.
Oh,
I don't know what that's about. It's
it
weird.
was perfect how it was.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's perfect. Now the model picker needs to do it just like that.
All right, so that goes down. And we're adding these selectors to that. So the model, filter, or no, the filter model.
It's filter mode here.
Standard filter model, events and helpers. Click pick model. If model and model filters array, model filters remove. Otherwise, push it. Model filters. If model in model filters array, small secondary. Instead of blue, we want G active. Filter model. Otherwise, small secondary. Is that it? Oh, that'd be weird. And model filters. Oh, so secondary is not going to change anything if they're all secondary.
You can remove the secondary.
So that could go there. Compact basic button inverted G active. G active is going to make it active all the time. So we're putting that in the dynamic one.
Boom. Perfect. That's perfect. Thank you. Okay.
The zoomy thing on the input is weird, so I think
Oh yeah, it makes the whole thing zoom. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
weird.
yeah. So I would
Is that because of the zoom around filter model, or is that because of the zoom around
on the input.
the
Engage with the model. There's home search. Home search. Centered icon, large action. Input. Why is it zooming on hover? Home search, centered icon, large icon, input. This is for everything. Yeah. So that's in CSS. So somewhere in there is like an input hover. Yep, 443. Button hover, A hover, yeah. Just gonna remove the, because that's scaling up 10% on hover. It's kind of cool for buttons, but I don't really like this, changing the border radius.
Yeah, that's kind of weird.
Yeah. All right, now everything has a little hover thing. Yeah. Now the home page, search doc users.
Yeah.
Now you click on it. Ooh, cool. Look, and you drop it down and it pulses.
Oh, cool. Yeah.
So that's on load.
All right. Word up.
Maybe, oh, and then that button is obviously going to hover, but that's okay.
Cool, 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 cool.
And then maybe on home, the home thing could be just title.
Oh, for some reason it just stopped doing it. Oh. Oh, it just is kind of delayed.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just slow.
Well, it's also like, I think updating this home docs thing. Yeah. Because every time you click on it, it's downloading a whole bunch of documents on the homepage now.
Mm-hmm.
So these are to like unselect. Right. Now it's just comments. Okay. All right. So the main thing now is that the home doesn't show the documents, but we actually have access to it. So the subscriptions are working. Say round of updates. Model filters working. G active class with white border. Good. Save point. Model filter drop down. Look and feel. All right, so on home, we're subscribed to the post docs. The picked tags array. So this needs to be updated. It should be picked models. So the logic goes that model filters, new reactive array. Home card model filters array. Post docs. No, we should say home docs. Something got really messed up here, or I just never went through it again. Post docs. Post docs is kind of a no. I'm gonna say put it right here. Pick tags, picked models equals array match if title filter if picked models then match model equals all picked models if picked models length 0 console log match find the latest 10 sort by latest. We're passing in that and then home Jade drop down database so then EFT the home docs are showing or doc results 157 doc results each doc results home coffee we got to make sure in home coffee 120 if the filter array if model filters array length then each match model otherwise show the latest model comment it's not a model comment message. All right, so theoretically this works now. So click on offer. We've downloaded 2 offers. Doc results match if media user and media user EFT array and media user EFT array. Length. Match EFTs in that. If model filters array length. Match model in model filters array. Docs find match. Docs view list. Okay, so now we have post. All right, now it shows posts, the latest posts. Unselect posts. It is pretty slow.
Might want to put our whole image thing on Delta. Do you think that could be slowing it down?
Well, no, I think it's.
Some of the kind of things.
I mean, we have a lot of documents there, but unless you're, it'll still be on the same database.
Yeah.
You're not loading up the. All right. So now the events are showing. But each one of these, like each picked, I would say. You could do something like each picked models UI label this, and then home helpers picked models array, and we'll say unpick model home events, click unpick models that remove. So you want multiple selections?
Yeah.
So we click offer. Shows the offers. Each picked models, UI label, unpicked model this. Oh, I didn't save it.
I actually do want to hear this. I like this bit a lot. You know Matt Tiabi?
Oh yeah.
The Joe Rogan Experience.
During my day, Joe Rogan podcast by night, all day.
Oh no.
Hey, Joe. Good to see you. It's always so hard to get rolling after you've been talking. Yeah, but I'm always excited to see you, so we're blabbing. Now we're rolling.
Model filters, not picked models.
A lot. It's been a crazy couple of months. I've enjoyed your work with the Twitter file. I enjoy all your work, but I really have enjoyed the Twitter files. That has been some really fascinating views behind the curtain. It's been one of the weirder, more surreal experiences of my life because as a reporter, you're always kind of banging away to try to get one little piece of reality, right? Like you might make 30 or 40 phone calls to get one sentence. The Twitter files is, oh, by the way, here, take a laptop and look at 50,000 emails, full of all kinds of stuff. And so it's, for somebody like me, it's like a dream come true. We get to see all kinds of things, get the answers to questions that we've had for years, and it's been really incredible. Has anything been surprising to you? A little bit. I think going into it, I thought that the relationship between these security agencies like the FBI and DHS and companies like Twitter and Facebook, I thought it was a little bit less formal. Like I thought maybe they had kind of an advisory role. And what we find is that it's not that. It's very formalized. They have a really intense structure that they've worked out over a period of years where they have regular meetings. They have a system where the DHS handles censorship requests that come up from the states, and the FBI handles the international ones, and they all float all these companies, and it's a big bureaucracy, and I don't think we expected to see that.
it's very bizarre to me that they would just openly call for censorship in emails and these private transmissions, but ones that are easily duplicated. You could send them to other people. It can easily get out. Like that, they're so comfortable with the idea that the government should be involved in the censorship of what turns out to be true information, especially in regards to the Hunter Biden laptop. That they would be so comfortable that they would just send it in emails.
Yeah. Well, I think that shows you the mentality, right?
Yeah.
Like that they really genuinely felt that they were impregnable, that they don't have anybody to answer to. I mean, a normal person doesn't put incriminating things in emails because we all have the expectation that someday it might come out, you know. But these folks didn't act that way. I mean, you see, I was especially shocked by an email from a staffer for Adam Schiff, the congressperson, the California congressman. And they're just outright saying, we would like you to suspend the accounts of this journalist and anybody who retweets information about this committee. You know, I mean, this is a member of Congress, right? Most of these people have legal backgrounds. They got lawyers in the office for sure. And this is the House Intelligence Committee. You would think they would have better operational security. Another moment that was shocking to me.
So now this is experimenting. Now the selection goes up top for everything that you're viewing.
Elvis Chan in San Francisco.
The selection goes up top.
And they're setting up
For the
this
model
signal
filters.
group, which is going to include all the top sort of censorship executives at all the big companies. And it's a Word document that has all the phone numbers of all these important executives. And the email just, the subject line reads phone numbers.
I don't think it's super necessary.
It's called secret phone
Okay.
numbers.
As long as I can see what we selected.
This is how they taught you to do it at Quantico.
In the drop down.
You
Yeah.
know? I mean,
Okay.
even the journalists can't miss that. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, it goes up top as a tag. Oh yeah, that's cool.
That part of it was amazing.
Yeah. I think it should just be an icon though.
It's such a peak.
Okay.
Because I don't think anybody ever anticipated that something like
Yeah,
that
that's cool for sure.
would get
Because
sold
then
to
you're like, this is
potential
what I'm looking
billionaire
at.
who's intent on letting all the information get released.
Yeah, I mean, I think Elon Musk essentially he spent $44 billion to become a whistleblower of his own company.
Yeah.
And I mean, I don't really fully know his motives in doing that. I think he's got a pretty developed sense of humor, though.
Yeah.
And that comes through. I think he gets a kick out of seeing all this stuff come out on Twitter, which used to be kind of the private stomping ground of all of these whiny journalists. And now here is all this information that is just horrifying to all of them. I mean, $44 billion is a lot to spend on that thrill, but I'm glad he did.
Well, he truly believes that censored social media is a threat to democracy. He really believes that.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and I believe it too.
Yeah.
I just don't have $44 billion.
Right.
Even if I did, I'd be like, I don't want that heat.
Right. Yeah. I don't think that's what I would spend it on, but no, he believes that. I think he also believes that the credibility of these companies can only be restored by telling people what they talk about in private or what they have been talking about, you know, with the government and that sort of thing.
Yeah.
So he might be right about that, you know. We'll see, I guess.
I think he is. I mean, it's going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting to see how this plays out. There's an amazing amount of resistance against him. And, you know, there's just the publicity campaign against him has been fascinating to watch. People go from thinking that Elon Musk is the savior that's bringing us these amazing electric cars and engineering new reusable rockets to he's an alt-right piece of shit who wants Donald Trump back in the office. And it's like, it's very wild.
The speed with which they can sort of shuffle somebody into the Hitler of the Month Club routine, right? Like, you know, we've always done this with foreigners, you know, whether it's
pretty slow,
Noriega
but
or Saddam Hussein
it's working.
or Milosevic or Assad or whatever it have a playbook for cranking out negative information about, foreigners who get in our way for whatever.
It's looking so
But
smooth
now
right now.
we've kind of refined
Both
that.
those things you just did
We're
make it so
domestic
sexy.
people who are inconvenient. I think they did it with Trump, obviously. They tried to do it with Tucker Carlson, with you. You got a taste of that for a few times.
Yeah, it's interesting.
Right, and then with Elon, he went from being the guy who made electric cars sexy to something to the right of Viktor Orban in like 10 seconds. It's amazing.
It is amazing, and the narrative is spread through progressive people. Well, they'll just say it now. It's like they've reached the memo. The memo's got to them, and then they just. I hear people in LA. I hear people that I know like, "Oh, Elon's just so crazy." It's like, well, there's something happening. He went nuts. He's a right winger now. Like, how? What are you saying? Like, what examples do you have? Like, they don't have an example. They just have this narrative that reached them as signal. Like, Elon bad now. Oh,
Right.
Elon bad now. Elon bad now. Elon bad now. And they just start saying it. And you go like, what examples are you using of like his behavior? Well, he let Trump back on the platform. Okay, well, the Taliban's there.
Right, yeah, exactly.
You don't have a problem with the Taliban? The Taliban just bought blue check marks. Do you know that?
Did they really? I
Yes.
didn't know
Yeah,
that.
they're buying blue check marks so they could be verified. They're the real terrorists. The fucking Taliban is
Right.
on, and no one has a problem with it. The CCP is on Twitter,
Right,
and no one has a problem with it.
right.
But
But
they
Trump,
say like Trump, they let Trump back on. Look, Trump is hilarious. He's a ridiculous person. But don't you think it's better that his tweets get out there and then a bunch of people get to attack him in the tweets? And if those tweets that people attack him with are good, but people are saying good things, then those things get retweeted and liked, and then they rise up to the top of the algorithm. It's all good. Like, you need a voice against someone like that. You can't have that guy howling into the wind on some QAnon forum and all those wackos just so they're only talking to each other with no pushback at all. If you really don't like Trump, you want him on Twitter.
absolutely.
You want that guy to have some pushback. You want people to be talking against what he's saying. You want Twitter, the real Twitter now, which will actually fact check everybody. They fact check Biden, right? They'll fact check him. So he says something stupid. They'll go, no, that's not what's true. Here's what's true.
Right, and
That would be good.
that was actually for a while Twitter's official policy. They had something called the public interest policy, which specifically laid out exactly what you said. Like when a world leader, no matter who it is, says anything, we want it to be out there because we want it to be debated. We want people to see it. We want people to talk about it. We want people to reach conclusions about it. And one of the things that we found in the Twitter files was
You still wanna-
January 6th, there was this intense debate within the company where they were basically saying, oh, thank God we're going to repeal the public interest policy, or we're going to poke a hole in it, right? And no longer have that belief system that just because somebody is a world leader, we need to hear what they have to say. So they invented a new policy called glorification of violence, or they called it that. And essentially what they said was you had to look at Trump not in terms of each individual tweet, but in terms of what they called the context surrounding his whole career, all the people who followed him, whether or not they were violent, whether or not they said things that were offensive. It's like the speech version of stochastic terrorism. I don't know if you ever heard that term. Stochastic terrorism is this idea that you can incite people to violence by saying things that aren't specifically inciting, but are statistically likely to create somebody who will do something violent, even if it's not individually predictable. And that's what they did with Trump. They basically invented this concept that yes, he may not have actually incited violence, but the whole totality of his persona is inciting. So we're going to strike him. And so they sort of massively expanded the purview of things they can censor.
I don't
just
know.
in that one moment.
You can manage that.
And it's you can see it in these dialogues how they came to that decision, which is just fascinating.
It's just such an extraordinary amount of power to
It's
get
so
people
good.
the ability to censor people on the biggest public forum in the world.
The most frustrating part to me is fucking with all the colors.
Come up with these justifications.
And your colors
Why
and
this
things
is a
right.
good idea, without anyone pushing back, without anyone saying, do you understand where this goes to? This eventually leads to government control of all thought and speech. This is where you're going. You're allowing the government to influence you based on one specific problematic individual, and that could spread out to every one of us, all of us, easily, quickly.
Right. I mean,
All right, what's going on with the modal?
World Economic Forum, right? We heard the
Brian Stelter was there. Brian Stelter's now at the World Economic Forum. which
So you have to set a data context and then activate
You look very comfortable there.
that,
He does. He's with evil
and
lizard
then
people that are trying to control the world. That's his bosses. He knows
so
how
the
to
data
get out of that
context keeps
situation.
changing.
They're on evil lizard people.
So you have to create a new document, set the data context in the as the parent in the modal, subscribe to it, then change that, but then link to the document page view to edit it further.
For the
Right.
evil leaders of the world who want to institute hate speech policies nationwide and centralized digital currency, and they want everybody.
And
to
also, we
vote.
might have to create
Well,
a
nothing
distinction
happy.
between
This is the
saving and
fucking people
publishing.
he's working for now.
Mhm.
Because he's basically a prostitute. And, they hired him to go.
Which sounds like a
do
pain in the
that.
ass
It's like,
for
what can we do?
current
What can we
context
do?
shit.
What can we do different to get everybody to stand in line?
I mean, modals are just tough because you're
And for
No.
a journalist to sit there.
it's not tough, they're just
There was
different.
that one woman where
Yeah.
that when Vera Jourova, she's an EU official, and she's talking about hate speech laws, and then she touches the knee of somebody sitting next to her and say, "You're going to have that in America soon."
I think that's the only modal that's we need really on the site.
Grinning,
Yeah.
like that's not offensive to him. Like a European basically saying, "Oh yeah, you're going to have this too soon." Like even though it's completely antithetical to everything that we believe in this country. Like,
Well, I think when you're working in a corporate news structure, and you can speak to this better than I could, obviously, but I think when you're working in an environment where you have editors and people in your ear, and you have producers, and you have narratives that the company is pushing, and then you have sponsorships that you're beholden to, it's very difficult to form any sort of problematic or controversial independent thought and then try to express it publicly. You're not going to do it. It's just too scary and sketchy. So when you're trying to keep that job, and here's a guy like Brian Stelter who already lost one of the biggest gigs in all of broadcast news. He was on fucking CNN. And then, here he's standing there and they're saying, you're going to have hate speech laws in America too. He's like, okay, everyone's talking smooth. Everyone's smiling. Like, he's not suitable for that role.
Right.
He doesn't belong there. They don't have the stones to carry that conversation in a way that's going to benefit all these people that are listening to it. What you want is someone who's in that position that goes, hold on, what do you think is hate speech? What's hate speech to you? And what's hate speech to me? And who gets to decide?
Yeah, how is that going to
Yeah.
be adjudicated? Like,
Right.
what's your definition? What's your definition of hate? What's your
Right.
definition of speech? Like,
Exactly.
you know what I mean? Like, there are a lot
Does
of
context matter? Yeah.
Yeah.
And how do you decide? And obviously, when you're looking at things over text, context gets very blurry. You don't know if someone's joking around. Like, there's so many pages that I get sent that are satire. I got a hilarious one. There's a new one. Rick Rubin sent me this one. He's like, this got to be satire, right? It's brilliant. Brilliant satire. But there's this person who has, like, the best version of super liberal, like, my children will never eat food from a gas stove, like that kind of shit. And there's so many of these, like, it's hard to tell who's what and what's real, and it's just one of those things where it's hard when you look at things through text, because people are sneaky. They're really good at it, and people are so ridiculous in real life that a really subtle parody is very hard to discern. So is that